All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with TT1 against Ret. Winner gets the number 13 seed in the NASL Grand Finals for season number 2. That will be played December 2nd to December 4th, and be sure to check it out. There's a lot of great stuff going on over there. There's going to be giveaways. There's going to be, fans screaming at the top of their lungs, and there's going to be so much handsome going on in the air axle toss.
And Gretorp's going to be there.
Duh.
Right? Yeah.
Duh.
So everyone should say hi to him. But yeah, this is a very important match. It's a best of 3 to determine who gets seeded in that tournament. Like the entire season, it all comes down to this, guys. It's going to be spawning in at the lower left position on the map of dual site. The red Zerg player, Liquid Ret, and his opponent in the top right. The pink Protoss player, Fnatic, MSI, TT1, and Gretorp. I'm wondering, if you're in this situation, this is the best of 3, essentially, of your StarCraft 2 career, kind of, yeah, I mean, I don't want to, over hype it, but it's a pretty big deal. I mean, do these guys play straight up, go for the macro game, or are we going to see cheeses?
No, we aren't going to see cheeses, I don't think. Maybe from TT1, he does like to do heavy gateway pressure a lot of the times in his PvZs, and I think this is a map where it's very applicable to do that. It's actually hard to get your third base, and you can punish the Zerg opponent for taking a third as well. So I wouldn't be surprised. TT1 has been doing Forge Fast Expanse on dual site and transitions into something like 6 gate, 7 gate, 8 gate I've even seen from him. We'll see if he does that this time around. Ret is a player that likes to go massive drones. So the playstyles actually favor TT1. I mean, what he practices all the time is to defend, or actually to defeat players like Ret. Abuse those timings, get rid of any potential for Ret to actually, drone up completely, get that 3 base saturation, just start churning out those units. So we'll see. I have a lot of faith in TT1 and his ability to execute his in his PvZs.
Yeah, and a little bit interesting here, Ret was able to put down that 15 hatch, and as a Protoss player, you never really want that to happen. So the 15 hatch goes down, TT1 unable to delay that from going down. Usually a lot of Protoss players like to just move around with that probe, maybe put down a pylon, and if you're lucky, putting down a Cybernex core. But that hatchery is going to get down from Ret, putting down the spawning pool as well at the same time. TT1 going for that 15 Nexus, adding on a second pylon, even before that Forge.
Yeah, it was all deliberate, actually. TT1 likes to favor this type of style. He goes Forge Fast Expand, but he likes to say, okay, particularly, well, he challenges himself. I'll go into that a little bit later, but he likes to go for the Nexus first before the Forge because you can get a very quick assimilator, actually. You can keep delaying this cannon from coming out because the spawning pool and the metabolic boost isn't coming up anytime soon. We can normally see that the Vespian gas doesn't get taken for quite a long time, especially with Ret. So you're not really worried about Zergling run-bys. You can delay that cannon from coming out for quite a bit of time. You can also get down double gateways. That's what we see from TT1. He's getting down double gateways. And he'll probably be following this up with some sort of double assimilator robo play. That's a lot of times what we see. First, we will have Zealots coming out.
Yeah, so you think we'll see some Zealot pressure pretty soon here?
Yes, that's what you normally do. We can see the assimilators aren't just put out yet. We will have them up, but it's going to be a huge burst in assimilators. And it's because he wants to focus on this double Zealot production. As soon as he gets the 2 gateways out, he will start making no, he's putting down the assimilators now. The reason why I say that is because him and Kiwikaki talk so much about their PvZs, and I was actually observing them just yesterday to get a good feel of what type of players they were for the playoffs. So I know what kind of style he favors. He's actually not going that style.
Interesting.
He's not getting the Zealots at all, which is kind of weird to get double gateways and not get any Zealots whatsoever.
Well, I think there could be an element here of trying to psych your opponent out. TT1 throwing down those 2 gateways. Ret did see those 2 gateways, so maybe, just maybe TT1 is trying to get Ret to be a little scared while not actually gonna try to do any sort of crazy early aggression with early Zealots. But in the meantime, Ret has not taken a gas yet. I'm not terribly surprised. Just favoring those drones. Also getting a third on the left side of the map there, Gretorp.
Yeah, we'll probably see a 4th hatchery, honestly. He likes to go the 4-hatch gasless, a double expand, I should say. There's that 4th hatch. And now finally the extractors galore will be put down. 2 extractors go down in the main. Nothing yet in the natural. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see any, just because this drone saturation is pretty light for the most part. And of course, that third base is pretty light as well. Now, TT1, I believe he was able to get a probe in there. Did he see
Yeah.
that third? Yes, he did. So that should be an instant Q for him. He is chrono boosting out. Now the Zealots, he's getting Stalkers. This is a very interesting take on how to do the Zealot pressure in this beginning stage, and puts down the robotics facility. This is going to be very tough to stop, actually, because there is no metabolic boost for Rhett. He's relying on just slow Zerglings. Well, there's a lot of slow Zerglings. I take that back, actually, Axel, as the Zerglings start to approach these two Zealots and get a great surround on them. Those go down so fast, and these two Stalkers are a little bit out of position now. I thought he would get a lot more value out of these Stalkers, but it looks like, you know, Rhett was very well prepared for that attack.
Yeah, I mean, Rhett had so many Lings on the field already, saying hi to those Zealots and killing them immediately in the middle of the map there. And now I feel like TT1 could be a little bit behind in this game. He's down 61-52 supply, only on 2 bases. His opponent is on 3. Income tab shows 46-42, so TT1 keeping up with that pro production, but 7 drones about to pop for Rhett, and I don't think he's going to stop hitting that D button in the near future here, Gretorp.
Yeah, he can go up to around 60 to 70 drones at this point and be sufficiently saturated. Let's talk a little bit about what TT1 did and where he transitions to. We do see a lot of gateways coming down from. He'll be up to a total of 7 gateways with 5 in construction. He has Immortals popping out. What this will be is an Immortal Mass Sentry Stalker Zealot timing attack. And I don't know if it has the time to actually pop out before Rhett gets that huge amount of drones and he starts getting those units. And once he starts materializing those expansions, it'll be very tough to stop a player like Rhett. I like what he's done so far. Now finally Metabolic Boost is being finished, you know, halfway into the 9-minute mark. And that just proves to be, I know it seems really weird, but it actually proves to be very efficient with his build, saying, okay, I'm getting Metabolic Boost right when his push is going to come. That just makes all of his drones, his efficiency optimal, hugely optimal. I feel like Rhett has a great upper hand as this first fight is about to ensue.
Yeah, and Rhett knows absolutely everything that is going on, and he has an Overseer in his opponent's base, spotted all the gateways and the robotics facility, and he started the Zergling and Roach production. TT1 coming forward, throwing down an expansion behind this. A part of me thought this would be some sort of 2-base all-in, but looks like he's changing his mind. A Zergling run by going to happen from Rhett, going to trap 2 Zealots and a Sentry there with the natural expansion. Immortals, Stalkers, and Sentries trying to retreat to help out these Zealots, but the Zergling's just going to run out of there as a big flame ball comes out of the ground.
That's one of the big strengths of Dual Slate. There's a lot of counterattacking options for Zerg, and we can see again these Zerglings coming in here, but the units are right around the corner. He has to be a little bit more careful. These couple of Zerglings are going to get picked off before actually getting out of there. Rhett is in a great position, I feel. He is going mass Zergling Roach at this point. He can actually get off it. He's going for a Spire right now, and TT1 is getting that one Colossus out as we speak. Now, TT1 did show it with having this this robotics bay around here and right in front, so the Zerglings were able to spot it out. But hold that thought, we have Roaches approaching this third base.
Yeah, TT1 coming forward does not want this third to die, and Rhett obviously wants to kill it, you know, to give himself an advantage. But TT1 trying to get this army out of there, but Rhett just has so many Roaches, so many Zerglings, and I don't know if TT1 can save this expansion, Gretorp.
This is going to be it. Rhett keeps pulling back, and that is the correct decision because those force fields are so powerful. Now the Zealots are able to kill those Zerglings so fast with the 2-shot. The +1 attack helps out so much. Now finally Rhett's +1 is going to finish, and those Roaches are super strong now. This is going to be very tough. Do we have any more force fields left? We have a couple, but now finally the Colossus moves over, and this Colossus represents a ton of damage. Look at how fast it forces those Roaches back. Will they get down? The Nexus, oh my god, 145 hit points left, 77 now, and there it goes down. TT1 will lose the expansion, giving Rhett a ginormous lead in this game. On top of that, TT1 doesn't have a lot of Stalkers. The Spire is finished. Corruptors are being made, and the Colossus will fall very fast if TT1 chooses to attack right now.
Yeah, and TT1 going to be taking that expansion again, and a part of me is like, gosh, at that point, when you lose that expansion, do you just start amassing units and going for it and pulling all your probes or something? Because, I mean, this expansion is so late. Rhett putting down a 5th hatchery at his 4th expansion at the 6 o'clock position, so Rhett looking to get even further ahead here. Has 2 more Corruptors on the way, researching Zerg missile attacks level 2. Looks like his unit comp is mainly Roaches, Zerglings, and those Corruptors. And no infestation pit, so not looking to go to Hive or Broodlord anytime soon, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. But Rhett definitely in a good situation, up 169 to 123 supply TT1. That expansion is about 70% of the way done.
Yeah, TT1 in this position has to play defensive for the rest of this game. And I'm going to go back to it now. TT1 is a player that likes to play towards his opponent's strengths to an extent, because he feels he is a strong player. He can play up to the top players in the world. I remember when I was on the same team, we were both on Fnatic MSI, he would say, you know, I don't care about playing against Idra. I'm going to go macro style every time and beat him at his strengths and crush his spirit that way. And that's the way he likes to start off the games. He doesn't like to cheese or anything. Now we can see the attack has started. Those roaches are being segmented very nicely, but look at how fast the Colossus goes down. The Corruptors are way too strong. Now all that stands are Immortals, Sentries, and Stalkers. This is a good army composition, but the Nexus can be easily targeted down. No, it's not going to be. The probes are being targeted first. No probe stays alive in this third base, and now finally the Zerg army will be cleaned up, but after suffering huge losses, TT1 is in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, TT1 holding off that push quite nicely, saves that Nexus, but did lose quite a few probes. Income tab shows 76 to 52 in favor of Rhett, and workers killed 25 in favor of Rhett. So Rhett going after that economy, and TT1 definitely not in a good situation, and Rhett getting that Hive on the way. So perhaps Broodlords in the near future here, continuing with that Corruptor production, also churning out a bunch of Roaches and Zerglings. But yeah, Gretorp, I really don't see what TT1 can do from here. I mean, he's doing everything he can, has had some decent micro, hasn't died yet, proving very cost efficient with his army. And here we go, pushing out to the middle of the map.
Yeah, this, I don't know if it's the best decision, but he does have a lot of Stalkers, and Stalkers are so powerful in this stage. If he can get Blink as well. Does he have Blink? No, he does not. I don't even know if he has Twilight Council. I'll check for that a little bit later. Let me check. He's at 1-1 right now. I would assume he's not at Twilight Council Tech just because he hasn't upgraded the 2-1. And a lot of times when you get Twilight Council, that is the #1 priority. And yeah, TT1 does not have that Twilight Council. So what that means is he has to push out right here before that Greater Spire hits, because once the Greater Spire finishes, that's going to be game over, man. There's no chance for TT1 actually to continue on without something like you know, that Blink Stalker.
Yeah, TT1 coming forward here. The Colossus gets sniped immediately by those Corruptors. Rhett backing up to the high ground. Not a bad decision. Onto Creep as well. Of course, Creep, such a good advantage to have as a Zerg player. Continuing to churn out a bunch of Zerglings. He also has Adrenal Glands on the way. Greater Spire, 70% of the way done. And yeah, TT1 has to hit pretty much right now. Has a lot of force fields he can use. So if he lays down perfect force fields, he maybe might have a chance. It's a lot of Starkles and Immortals. So many force fields going down, partitioning off these Roaches and Zerglings. And the Corruptors can't really do much except corrupt the units on the ground. But I don't know, TT1, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, TT1 will be able to bust through, but the Greater Spire has finished right now. The Corruptor count is still stabilized. We have 8 Corruptors out in the field, it looks like, and this third base or the fourth base, whatever you want to call it, is under attack. It will go down, but all Rhett needs to do is sit back, get those Broodlords up, and he'll just snap back, you know, like a slingshot, and just start propelling forward, because TT1, again, has no way to deal with this Greater Spire tech at all. He's getting 2 Stargates out right now, but all Red has to do is remake Corruptors, and he can counter that Void Ray pressure very easily. You can see a Zerg run by coming in, and the Natural's under attack.
Yeah, trying to get by. Probes proving to be enough, and the Lings are just going to run away, but did a decent amount of damage there. And Rhett does have 8 Broodlords on the field, if I'm counting correctly. Yes, it does look like 8, so he may go for a push here, and TT1 does not have Blink, so he doesn't really have that ability to go underneath those Broodlords unless Rhett is really sloppy with his control. But Rhett, an extremely strong player, he is maxed as well, so we'll have to see what happens here.
Here we go. There's the counterattack. This is the correct decision. Don't go straight up against those those Brood Lords. Try to dodge as much as possible and get the counter that you can. So TT1 should take out this third base, and he should also take out the natural, forfeit this one base over here, his own third, because right now he's in a position where he has a pretty sustainable army. No, TT1 is actually going back, trying to catch these Broodlords, I guess, out of position. Will he get it? If Rhett is smart, yes, he will bring all of his Zerglings and his Roaches over here and stop the the onslaught that would have been if these Broodlords were just caught out by themselves.
This game just got really interesting, Gretorp. TT1 is hiding a bunch of Void Rays right now, and Rhett doesn't have any anti-air. He doesn't have any corruptors on the field, I don't think, so he will have no way to deal with these Void Rays, and of course they do bonus damage to those Broodlords. That's exactly what they're going to target down. So Rhett in an extremely awkward situation here. Still no anti-air on the field. Going to be trying to run away with those Broodlords. Has one corruptor on the way, but oh my god, TT1, he's looking good right now, Gretorp.
Yeah, he's killing those Broodlords so fast, and this is so bad from Red. He wasn't actually able to scout in and see the double Stargate play, so these Void Rays are just picking apart every single one of these Broodlords. That's the big advantage that Red had to begin with. And now that he lost that, this ground army is way too strong, I think. TT1 is in a fantastic position. All of a sudden, it's turned around with these Void Rays. The Void Rays, of course, that extra 20% damage they do against massive units like Broodlords, it helps so much. Now Rhett is, he's on his toes, man. I don't know if he can come back into this. Losing all those Broodlords, he lost his only advantage.
Yeah, and this Death Ball, this Protoss Death Ball from TT1 is incredibly strong. Void Ray is doing so much damage, taking out the only anti-air, without the Corruptor. I guess the Queen's trying to do their job, but they're going to get sniped down very quickly, and Rhett backing up as far as he can go. Eventually has to turn around and engage this, but TT1 with so many Stalkers and Sentries and Void Rays, looks like he's going to take this game, Gretorp.
Yeah, there's no way. TT1 is just force shielding way too well. Look at those force shields, but the thing to look at, the Void Rays are keeping their count up. There's 5 of them out in the field. GG comes out from Rhett, and TT1 takes game number 1.